everybody. Welcome back to ToolScouter Shop. I have something here I want to read to you that I think many of you will relate to. I'm a wood spoon, lead paint, no car seat, no seat belt, no bike helmet, bed of a pickup riding, garden hose drinking survivor. Looking at my analytics, I think most of you can relate to a lot of these things. Wooden spoon was never used, but I did get my share of discipline, and I'm sure several of you would be able to attest to that as well in your lives. And I do think I'm a better person for it. Lead paint, man, I grew up, in fact, I lived outside the country in the 70s, and I lived in a third world country. My parents were missionaries, and so I am sure I came in contact with lead paint. No car seat, I can remember as a kid. In fact, car seat laws started to come in just about when I started to learn how to drive, which was mid 80s. And so car seats just were not required. No bike helmet. If you wore a bike helmet when I was a kid, you'd probably get beat up by the rest of the kids on the playground. Bed of a pickup truck riding, I can remember my mom's family lived down in Kentucky, and inevitably we would go together with my cousins. I had three boy cousins that lived down there, and I can remember so many times when we'd be going through the hills of Kentucky in the back of a pickup truck, and we'd all stand up behind the cab, and I mean, man, we were kings of our world. It was wonderful, and I miss it, and it's just too bad that we can't have some of those experiences. I know why. You don't have to explain it to me, but there was just something really, really special about that, and remembering that. Garden hose drinking. I remember drinking out of a lot of garden hoses. And at the end here, it says you're a survivor. Now, I guess I would say I'm not sure yet that I'm a survivor of the lead paint and the garden hose. That may have done something to me. I don't know. It may have shortened my life. I don't know either. But I'm sure many of you can relate to this. And I wanted to start the video here asking you the question, what was the most dangerous toy you ever had as a kid? I went through and started thinking about it, and I remember these little oven sets that you could buy that had a little light bulb, a hot light bulb or an element inside. Man, those things would get hot, and kids could be able to make a little brownie or a cookie and stick it in there. But those things got so hot, and I always saw those as kind of dangerous. Chemistry sets, some of the old chemistry sets. In fact, I've got a picture here of a chemistry set from the 1950s that came with a piece of uranium. And it's an atomic chemistry set. And can you imagine getting that and being able to buy that and having a piece of uranium? I wonder how many kids got sick or shortened lives from that. I'm just not really sure, but you can't get them anymore. You can't find that uranium. And then there was a wood burning set I remember having as a kid, that wood burning set, and I burned a horse head on the front of that wood burning set. It came out beautifully. And I just remember playing with that, but I also remember it being such a short cord, and usually you were around curtains or playing on the carpet with it, and I just remember it being a very dangerous set. And so I was just curious, what was your most dangerous tool? Let me bring you down here on the bench and show you what I found stored in our shed. And I think this is probably the most dangerous toy I ever had as a kid. How many of you had a set of lawn darts that you used to play with as a kid? I can remember at my grandparents' house up in Wisconsin, us setting these out. These here would come out and make a circle, and you'd always try to stick your dart into the circle, and it was just, I remember them being a lot of fun. These are turned just a little bit, and when they're turned properly as they go through the air, that'll spin and it stabilizes it so well. You grab it right here and you give it a fling up in the air, and it would go up and it would wobble just a little bit, but with this fletching it would come back like this and straighten out so nice, and then just stick right into the dirt. And these things were a lot of fun. I do remember occasionally, I don't remember me doing it specifically, but I probably did. But I remember one of my cousins throwing one straight in the air, and we were afraid of where it was going to come down. And so you can imagine how dangerous these things would have been. They're a very simple little thing. Got a little nut, a plastic nut here on the end that will come off. And I want to take it off, take these fletchings off and wash them up and clean these up, straighten them up. This one here is bent just a little bit and has some corrosion on it. And I thought I'd make a little display and set them up. I don't intend to let anybody play with them. My kids and grandkids won't play with them, but I just remember them from my childhood and thought it'd be fun to clean them up and set them up on a display and put them up here in the shop. So I was just wondering about you. What was your most dangerous toy? So I'm going to take a little time and clean these up and make a little display and see if we can't fix this up and make it look a little bit nicer. And but let me know in the comments, what was your most dangerous toy that you ever played with, and did you ever have a set of these lawn darts? So let's go clean them up. Stop. So here's our toy. It's been a lot of fun, kind of just remembering and seeing how they still work. They, over the years, have gotten brittle. This one and this one here broke twice, and so I've had to try to epoxy that. And basically, I don't intend to probably ever use these again. I'm just going to set them up here in a display here in the shop and just remember all the fond memories. So let's take these over here. I've got the display mounted, and we'll go ahead and put these up there, and we'll have them to look at and to remember fondly. And I'm sure as other people come in, they'll make comments about them too. This is more of a conversation piece than it would be something that we would take out and use and play. We do have a horseshoe pit out back, plus now you have cornhole and ladder, what is it, ladder ball or something like that. All kinds of games that are like this. In fact, I even looked online, you can find darts, but they have this big round sandbag or kind of a bulb on the front so that it hits. But anyways, these are kind of cool, remember back, and I hope to hear from you guys about these. But for right now, let's go over there and put them on the display. I also remember as a kid, Tarzan was a very popular show when I was young, and we would usually try to find a tree somewhere and a rope and hang that rope from the tree, and we would swing from one tree to the next. And every once in a while somebody would fall. I never had, when we were playing with it as kids, nobody ever really got hurt, but you could imagine some of the dangers that might be involved in that. As I got older, back down on the farm in Kentucky, they would dam up where there were two mountains that came together and had a valley. They would dam it up and it would be full of water, and they would keep that for the cows there on the farm. And I think I was probably 17 or 18. My cousins would have been 16, 15, 14, something like that. And they had built a pulley system. They had strung a rope across that little pond, and we had a pulley that we would take, and you'd grab hold of that thing and you'd swing all the way down the zip line. And when you got over the middle of the pond, you'd let go and splash right down in the pond. They have some of those things now, and they aren't necessarily so dangerous. I just remember it being very homemade, and there could have been some things that went wrong, but we had a blast doing it. So what was your most dangerous toy? I think these are great. I've seen them several times in the shed when I've been doing stuff in there and getting things out, and I keep thinking, I need to do something with those. I need to do something with those. And so I think this is a perfect opportunity to clean them up and be able to share them with you. I appreciate you stopping by the shop and sharing this time, your time, with me. I do appreciate that so much. It's great to have you here. Come and visit. So anyways, do tell me in the comments what was your most dangerous toy, or maybe the most dangerous thing you did. I know sometimes we get carried away with things as kids, but remembering back all the things we survived sometimes is a lot of fun. So leave that in the comment. If you know somebody else that might enjoy this content, please send them the link and we'll be able to share this with them as well. If you were entertained by this, please hit the thumbs up button. The more of those we get, the more YouTube recognizes that there are those who are watching these videos, and they will send them out, open up the demographic to a larger group so that we're able to reach more people. And not only that, but if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We're always trying to grow the channel. Hit that bell notification, and that way when I put up a video, you'll be notified and you'll be able to come by and visit me here again. I sure do enjoy it. So guys, as always, here's to you. Have yourself a great day. God bless.